Koval Construction, GT Products, Duco Performance, BBR, Load and Go Pilot, Purity Cylinder Gases, Cook Farmer Grip, Equipment, Beaver Creek Tile, and T3. Oh, and I just gave the wrong guy. Colton Vogel, I should have looked up. 9488 for Colton Vogel. We skipped a couple of cars. Colton Vogel, the Vogel Motorsports Handling Racing Components Machine. Apologies for that. Lane Head was supposed to come out. Here's Josh Haynes. Josh Haynes in the 5J. Warlock Performance Engine, Santos Logistics, Haynes Tree Service, Elite Construction. It's a Bailey with a Suzuki. One lap for Josh Haynes. 9.468. 9.46 with an 8 for Josh Haynes. It's currently second quick. Haynes across the line faster. 9.20. 9.207 for Josh Haynes. Next up to the racetrack, Rumble Rookie out of Galesburg, Michigan. The 16 of Owen Roush. Owen Roush driving for Richard Doc Hathaway, the H&S Prototype Sweet Manufacturing R&H site work. It's a stealth chassis with a Kawasaki. Lap 1 for Owen Roush goes top of the board. 8.42 with a 2. 8.422 and much quicker. 8.21 with a 7. 8.217 and Owen Roush top of the board by a bunch. Now in the Bruce Bretzman owned GRP Kawasaki out of Anderson, Indiana, it's Rumble Rookie Matt Browning. Matt Browning, Big Top Records, RGMHS and GRP chassis for Matt Browning. Second quick, 8.58 with a 9, 8.589. Browning across the line. He'll stay second quick, 8.27 with a 1, 8.271. Driving car number 4. Member of the United States Air Force out of Jackson, Michigan, it's Cameron MacArthur. Golden Matrix Group, the Michigan Air National Guard, Roy's Construction, it's a Stallard Suzuki. Lap 1 for MacArthur, 8.790, 8.79. MacArthur, lap number 2, faster, but still third quick, 8.53.7, 8.537. Eyes on this one. He's out of position in qualifying. Driving to car number 20 for Russell and Mike Strasbaugh. Sonny's Machining and Welding, Strasbaugh Racing. It's a Shark Suzuki. Having handling problems, overshooting the corners is Tyler Schillick. 9.25 with a 2, 9.252. Look for him to step way up on lap 2. All the way to third quick, 8.37, 8.372. Here's a former Rumble winner back in 2016. Driving for Larry Joe Schroff. It's the Schroff Yamaha R6, sponsored by Schroff's Garage. CNR Racing, 600cc Performance and EP Graphics from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Josh Ross. Josh Ross, fifth quick, 8.54, 8.545. Second lap for Josh Ross. And he will move up 1 to 4th, 8.42, 8.429 for Josh Ross. Out of Pearson, Indiana, in the Max Boost owned Hyper Suzuki, Star Tire and Automotive, Bravery Branding, WR Customs for Brent Booz. Brent Booz, fourth quick, 8.38, 8.382. First lap for Booz. Lap number 2. To the stripe he comes. He'll go third, 8.28 with a 7, 8.287. Here is the track record holder, feature winner last year in the ES10, owned by Mike Zent, the Ridgeway Yamaha, UAW 2209 Vision Homes, Big Rigs Container Service, Easton Zent. Lap 1 for Easton Zent, 8.41 with a 2, 8.412. Mysterium Escapes, Landcon Electrical Contractors, MVP Lanes, Team Holloway Graphics, Bandit Shocks, Mike's Den Incorporated, and Mike Zent Amsoil. Second quick, 8.27 with a 0, 8.270 for Easton Zent. Rumble winner the last 2 years in a row in the Shelby Rankin Nussbaum Yamaha. Here's Dylan Nussbaum out of Warsaw, Indiana. Lap number 1 for Dylan Nussbaum, fourth quick, 8.27. Wheeler Well Drilling, Rankin Speed Design, Jason Beach Trailer Sales, Weston Skies Travel and Destination Weddings, Terry Flora Motorsports, United Trailers, WR Customs and Schaefer Racing Oil, Rob Enders. Nussbaum, fast time, 8.10, 8.105 for Dylan Nussbaum. Next on the racetrack, Driving car number 1st lap on the board for Dawson Kelly. 870 with a 6, 8706 will be the time of record for Dawson Kelly. And car number 14, Tilton Trucking, Shovey family, Zoil Amsoil, Motorific Creations for Dawson Kelly. Here's Brian Martin in car number 00. Brian Martin out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. 923 with a 6. Martin Mechanical, Armstrong and Son Transport, MVP Lanes. It's a Hyper with a Suzuki. 2nd lap for Brian Martin, 886 with a 1, 8861. Car number 75 out of Lafayette, Indiana. The Star Tire and Auto, Hyper Yamaha for Brian Booz. Brian Booz out of Pierceton, Indiana. Lap number 1 goes 8th quick. 8:46. 1st lap for Brian Booz. Booz across the line, 3rd fast. 8:23 with a 9. 8:239 for Brian Booz. One of the all-time champions in Rumble competition out of Larwell, Indiana. The Schroff's Garage, EF Rhodes & Son, Cottage Watchman of Pierceton, EP Graphics, Schroff Yamaha for Larry Joe Schroff. Lap number 1 for Larry Joe, 8th quick, 8:37 for Larry Joe. Lap number 2. To the stripe he goes, 2nd quick, 8:18, 8:182 for Larry Schroff. Keep an eye on these guys. The Gem Motorsports, number 27, the Bull Rider Suzuki of Jason Montel, driven by Dylan Woodling. G Squared Excavating, Credence Contracting, Next Gen Aposky, WR Customs, Engler Injection, 1 lap in for Woodling, 8:30. Lap number 2, Dylan Woodling. He'll jump to 2nd quick, 8:15 with a 9, 8:159 Dylan Woodling. Dylan Nussbaum, Dylan Woodling, Larry Joe Schroff, Owen Roush, the top 4. Here's Chase Ridnour, the Jason O'Hara owned Gem Motorsports, Concept Suzuki, G Squared Excavating, Montel Body Shop. Special thanks Jorgen and Jason Montel. Lap number 1 for Chase Ridnour, 3rd quick out of the box, 8:17 to the line he goes. He'll stay 3rd quick, 8:17 for Ridnour after a monster opening lap. Couldn't follow it up. Here's the fastest guy today in practice. 2-time Rumble winner out of Malenta, Ohio. It's Tyler Gunn. KK Collision, Eichner Racing Services, Growing Minds Learning Center, Terry Hendricks, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Lap number 1 is 5th quick. Moore Plumbing, Gunn Auto Service and Towing. Checkered flag out. He'll be 3rd at 8:16. 8:165 for Tyler Gunn. Done, dusted, fast time, the number 17 of Dylan Nussbaum. Nussbaum will be quick with an 8:10. Dylan Woodling, 2nd quick, 8:15. Third quick, Tyler Gunn, 8:16. Chase Ridnour, 4th at 8:17. Larry Joe Schroff, 5th, 8:18. Owen Roush, 6th, 8:21. Brian Booth, 7th, 8:23. Easton Zent, 9th, 8:27. Matt Browning, 9th, 8:27 with a 1. Zent was a 27 dead. And Brent Booz, 10th quick, 8:28 with a 7. 18 hundredths of a second, 1st to 10th. Enter Lyuna, non-wing. Tyler Schillick, 11th, 8:37. Josh Ross, 8:42 was 12th. Then comes Cameron MacArthur, 8:53. Dawson Kelly, 8:70. Brian Martin, 8:86. Mike Fedorchik, 8:86 with a 6. Then Josh Haynes. And Colton Vogel, Lane Head, Michael Booz. Not making qualifications attempts. Hope to see them out a little bit later. So Lyuna, non-wing 600 qualifying now in the books. Flown 360 heat races, or last chance race is coming up next. couple of heavy Honda heat races. Then we'll have Wing 600 qualifying. Economy Auto Parts, talk to Tony. First of 2B features, Jaden Edwards in 2, Dusty Davis in 17, Kagan Schroyer 24, Derek Hammond in 09. Only 4 made the call. The top 2 will go to the main. That's Kylie Drummond in the 09, not Derek Hammond. Hammond in the 09, Buddy Jackson in 73, not making the call, it looks like. Jaden Edwards the lead. Buddy Jackson runs second. Dusty Davis in third. Kylie Drummond in fourth. Kagan Schroyer, Derek Hammond, both not making the call. Taking the top 2. Right now it's Dusty Davis trying to close in on Buddy Jackson for second place. Here's that battle for second. Coming to the white. Crossover move by Dusty Davis trying to bump Buddy Jackson out of the main. He's got it. Can Jackson fight back to 3 and 4? No, he cannot. Going to the main. Jaden Edwards into 2. And Dusty Davis into 17X will race his way into the main event tonight. Buddy Jackson and Kylie Drummond will come up short.
Heavy Honda, round 2, heat race number 1 for the Heavy Honda. Abby Springer in the 2. Looks like the 10 car of Eli Myers going to the outside front row. Row 2. The 4 of Aiden Slidham, the 1 of Cohen Ellett. The 11 of Connie Daly and the 6 of Grayson Hathaway in row number 3. Green flag out. 4 cars. Slidham goes to the inside and off to the front they go. Connie Daly with a good jump up to second. Now Grayson Hathaway overtakes. Your leader, the 4 car of Aiden Slidham. Grayson Hathaway starting to make tracks quickly. Comes off the 4th corner and into the lead. Slidham running a pretty conservative line, but it's going to work this time. Slidham gets into the bottom of turn number 1 ahead of Hathaway. Retakes the lead. Now the 1 car challenges. Cohen Ellett comes up for a look. As the 10 of Eli Myers. The 10 of Eli Myers goes a lap down. Ellett is right there on the tail of Aiden Slidham. Under the white flag they go. Hathaway half a second back. Off of 4. The win goes to Aiden Slidham. Cohen Ellett, Grayson Hathaway 3rd. Connie Daly goes 4th. Ahead of Abby Springer and Eli Myers. Heavy Honda round 2 heat race number 1.
Final Senior Predator last chance race. Excuse me, that's not Predator, it's Clone 360 last chance race. Green flag out. Logan Starr in 26, Eric Wilson in 51, RJ Cornett 61, Stephen Dombowski 78. Lakin Brinkman in 20, Terry Culberson is third in car number 57, Tucker Long in the 2T. Already a couple laps into this one, Logan Starr with the race lead and pulling away handily. Stephen Dombowski into second. Lakin Brinkman running in third. Then it's RJ Cornett in car number 61. Brinkman chasing down Dombowski. He'll dive to the inside. He'll take over second place. Lakin Brinkman now second. Here's RJ Cornett working on the number 78 of Stephen Dombowski. Logan Starr all alone out in front, running away with this one. Eric Wilson, Terry Culberson the third, going to need some help there distantly back from the transfer spot. Logan Starr on cruise control ahead of Lakin Brinkman. One lap to go for Logan Starr. Lakin Brinkman comes home second. Starr the win. Lakin Brinkman will be second. It's Dombowski in third. RJ Cornett fourth. Eric Wilson in fifth and Terry Culberson in sixth. Dombowski finishes third. He'll miss out on the main tonight, but Lakin Brinkman in 20 and Logan Starr in 26 will both go to tonight's feature. Now, time for the Clone 360 Dash. Decide who will be on the front two rows around turn 3 and 4. Looking for the green. Alex Smolders in cart number 11 jumps out in front. Dustin Heath second in cart number 6. Then comes Alex Guerin and Sean Cluck. Smolders down the back front stretch with the lead. Stretching it out by a couple of car lengths. Guerin up the inside on Dustin Heath. Sean Cluck going to go right with him. Dustin Heath shuffled back to fourth lap to go. Now Cluck going to get inside of Guerin. Checker flag. Alex Smolders the win. Sean Cluck second. At the stripe. Check it quickly. Pretty sure which way that one went down. Going to be Dustin Heath in third. Alex Guerin in fourth. So Alex Smolders and Sean Cluck front row of the Clone 360 feature. Dustin Heath, Alex Guerin will make up round number 2.
Heavy Honda round 2, heat 2 makes its way onto the track. Neo Fallon in the 13, Colton Carrier in the 8, Marcella Spain in the 7, Lily Gerbasi in the 5, Phil Clement, car number 12, Eden Weber in the 9. Oh, center punch the infield tire. Phil Clement Jr. in the 12th. He got it as square as a bear. It doesn't look like it towed the front end on either side.
The Nick Hamilton Full Circle Award. Nick Hamilton continues to remember his roots with a Full Circle Award. He has been conducting raffles and t-shirt sales with the proceeds to be given away Saturday in opening ceremonies. Nick, now racing midgets and other open wheel divisions, got his start in the quarter midgets and has not forgotten where he came from. The Nick Hamilton Full Circle Award.
Marcella Spain leading him in circles out here this time by. Up to second, the 9 of Eden Weber. Colton Carrier to third. Phil Clement already back to fourth. After catching the corner barrier biscuit just a couple of minutes ago. Marcella Spain quickly pulls to the infield. Something not right on her number 7 racer. That concedes the lead to the 8 of Colton Carrier. Colton Carrier back in front of this. Clement makes the move now. Phil Clement from smack of the tire early to getting around the getting around the 9 of Weber. Colton Carrier now out in the lead. Clement gets to that clean concrete, frees the car up off the corner under the white flag, trying to make a move now. Is the 9 of Weber, cannot get it done. Out in front, it's all Colton Carrier in the car number 8. Up next, event number 93 for the day, I believe, is the Wing 600 qualifying. We'll go from the slowest car in practice to the fastest car in practice. Wing 600s, brought to you by North Baltimore Custom Cuts.
North Baltimore Custom Cuts, sponsor of the Wing 600 series at the Rumble. Located in North Baltimore, Ohio, specializes in custom meat cutting services and offers a variety of retail products. North Baltimore Custom Cuts.
Lap number 1, Bill Dunham out of Bellevue, Michigan. 8.603. 8.603 for Bill Dunham. Second lap slower, 8.739. Dunham, the TD Racing Tough Coat Powder Coating, BSI Stamp Banda Shocks, Vision 1 Composites Concept Yamaha. Next on the track, out of Warsaw, Indiana, it's Jason Ormsby. Ormsby in the 51. First lap, 8.208. 8.208 for Jason Ormsby. Second lap slower, 8.136, owned by John Ormsby. John's Custom Services, Hauling and Excavating. MT Performance, Razor's Edge Graphics, UB Machine. The Cheaters Inc. Motorworks, Hyper Suzuki of Jason Ormsby. Now on the track, the car number 68G, Tyler Gunn out of Melinda, Ohio. First lap, 8.485. 8.485 for Tyler Gunn. Second lap slower, 8.552. 8.552 for the Tyler Gunn Racing. KK Collision, 8-Near Racing Services, Growing Minds Learning Center, Tarek Hendricks Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Ford, More Plumbing, Guns Auto Service and Towing, Fast Yamaha. Next up on the track, the 26 of Colin Parker. Colin Parker through the lights, 8.115. 8.115 for Colin Parker. Second lap a little slower, 8.149. 8.149 for the 26 of Colin Parker. The Bill Sager and Ralph Bickle G&G Oil Express Steel Attachments, Bicker Sagal Suzuki. Out of Martinsville, Indiana, Colin Parker. Next up to qualify the 18 of Brad Lamberson, 12.8. 8.128, first time by, second lap faster, 8.087. Brad Lamberson, 8.087 for the car number 18 out of Parma, Michigan. The David McPhail Milling Performance Classic Metal Finishing Pit Productions Circum Trucking Parts Connection Hyper Suzuki. Next up to qualify, the car number 21 of Clay Sanders. Clay Sanders, first lap, 8-1-5-5. 8-1-5-5 for the 21 of Clay Sanders. Second lap quicker, 8-1-4-7. 8-1-4-7. Sanders out of Lexington, Kentucky, owned by Gary Sanders, Liskey's Auto and Truck Service, the Joker Motorsports, Hyper Kawasaki. Now on the track, the car number 29 of Zeth Sabo. Zeth Sabo out of Fremont, 8-0-4-7. First lap, fast qualifier, 8-0-4-7 for Sabo. And he drops it to a 7-8-9-1. 7-8-9-1 for Sabo. The Russet Mike Straussbaugh, Sonny's Machining and Welding, Straussbaugh Racing, Shark Suzuki rips it to a 7-89 with a 1. Next up to qualify, the 5 of Brian Booz. Brian Booz out of Pierceton, Indiana. First lap, 8-2-8-6. 8-2-8-6 for the Brian Booz Star Tire and Automotive Hyper Yamaha. Second lap, 8-0-5-1. 8-0-5-1. Brian Booz in the hunt. But Zeth Sabo still quick with that 7-89. Now on the track, the car number 87 of Nate Franklin. Nate Franklin in the 87. First lap, 8-0-5-5. 8-0-5-5 for Nate Franklin out of Lafayette. He drops into the sevens, a 7-9-8-5. 7-9-8-5 for the Franklin Vice Racing Noy Apparel Hyper Yamaha R6 of Nate Franklin. Next up to qualify, the car number 14 of Keith Ousley. Keith Ousley out of Warsaw, Indiana, 8-2-5-1. 8-2-5-1 for the Keith Ousley. 8-1-1-0. 8-1-1-0 for the Keith Ousley. Chain Drive Motorsports, Elliott Heating and Cooling, Coy Brothers RC, Pro Strip, Lafler Kawasaki of Keith Ousley. Next up, the 10R of Josh McKnight. Josh McKnight, 8-0-9-2. 8-0-9-2, beating that rev limiter up. Smotator, second lap, 8-2-9-9. Car owned by Mike and Nancy Ball, Premier Restorations. TLA Signs Lucky, 7 Technology, RMB Racing, Burris Suzuki of Josh McKnight. Now on the track, the 0-1 of Max Stambaugh. Max Stambaugh out of Elida, Ohio. Stambaugh, 8-0-6-1. 8-0-6-1 for Max Stambaugh. Rookie in this class, 8-0-3-6. 8-0-3-6 for the car owned by Danny Williams. Williams Seal Coating and Paving, Bennick Enterprises, Hyper Suzuki of Max Stambaugh. Now up to qualify, the car number 71R of Tyler Rankin. Tyler Rankin out to qualify. Out of Coldwater, Michigan, 7-9-9-3. Fastest first lap of the afternoon. 7-9-9-3. He drops it to a 7-9-2-9. 7-9-2-9. Tyler Gunn still quick. Zeth Sabo, 7-8-9-1. Fast qualifier so far. Tyler Rankin. The Shelby Rankin Angola Chrysler Dodge Jeep Flint Trucking and Pendants Heating and Cooling BW Transport Rankin Speed Design Hyper Suzuki. Next up to qualify, the 16W of Dylan Nussbaum. Dylan Nussbaum, 8-2-6-3 first lap. 8-2-6-3 the first lap. 8-3-9-1 the second lap. Nussbaum, owned by Kim Wheeler, the MC Wheeler Well Drilling, Jason Dietz Trailer Sales, J. Baker Trucking, Holtzinger Seed Service, Montes, Best One Tire and Auto, Hyper Yamaha of Dylan Nussbaum. Now on the track, Kelsey Mange. Kelsey Mange in the 46 out of Clyde, Ohio. First lap, 8-2-2-4. 8-2-2-4, first time by for Kelsey Mange. Drops it to an 8-0-2-4, 2/10 quicker. For the Andy Atkinson Farm, Sunny Machining and Welding, Bogey's Barbecue, Ideal Bakery, the Pub 400, Frank Mosier Take a Bow, Schulich Wings and Fabrication, Stealth Yamaha, of Kelsey Mange. Now on the track, the 40 car of John Ivy. John Ivy out of Fremont, Ohio. First lap, 7.975. 7.975. It's no good. It's new time. Fast time, 7.878 for John Ivy. The Andy Atkinson Farm, Sunny Machining and Welding, Bogey's Barbecue, Ideal Bakery, Pub 400, Schillick Wings and Fabrication, Stealth Yamaha of John Ivy is your new fast qualifier. Now Dylan Woodling in the 3W, 8.315. 8.315, a first time by for Atwood, Indiana's Dylan Woodling. Second lap, 8.287. 8.287 for Dylan Woodling. In the Cody line, Woodling Tire and Auto, Rocket Fabrication and Suspension, WR Custom, Wheeler & Sons Well Drilling, Jackson Lawnscapes, Elliott Custom Trailers, Karts, XYZ Machine, Simpson Racing Products, Guinea Fowl Yamaha, Stanley the Guinea Fowl, out to qualify. Tyler Schillick in the 94. First lap, 7.602. 7.602 fast qualifier, Tyler Schillick. His first lap, 7.64. Second lap, 7.60. Car owned by John Ivy, the Sunny Machining and Welding, Bodie's Barbecue, Atkinson Farm, Ideal Bakery, C&N Construction Supplies, Pub 400, MIA Racing, WAG Yamaha. Last car out, first car on the timesheet, Tyler Schillick.
And thank you, Scott Stein, for grabbing that for me. Had a sponsor commitment pop up all of a sudden. Had to take care of. But we're back behind the mic now, so. So Tyler Schillick, quick time. And the North Baltimore Custom Cuts non-wing qualification. I got a couple of last chance races for the wedge classes coming up next. Getting closer and closer to those opening ceremonies.
Cobra Racing Tires is the official tire of the Wedge Kart Series at the Rumble in Fort Wayne. Division sponsor Cobra Racing Tires remain competitive even after hundreds of laps. Cobra Racing Tires. Wedge Innovations. Co-sponsors of the Wedge Kart Series at the Rumble, Wedge Innovations is a Michigan-based wedge kart chassis builder and parts source. Wedge Innovations.
Junior Wedge last chance will take the top four. Caden McCullough on the pole in car number 99, outside row 117C. Cooper Nussbaum, row 2 inside. Joey Barnhart in 45. Zayden Chapman scheduled to go outside row 2 in the 77, and they've had a hard luck weekend, and they missed the call for this one. That'll move up Dylan Allwine in the car number 12. Row 3 inside. Braden Ernsberger in the 7E. Got the 21 of Colton Gibson out there. Peyton Canterbury in 3. Johnny Schaefer in 21 and 68 make that. We're green. Jumping out in front is Cooper Nussbaum. Cooper Nussbaum with the lead ahead of Caden McCullough. Again, we'll take the top four. Joey Barnhart in third. Colton Gibson in fourth. And a gap back to Dylan Allwine. Braden Ernsberger in the car number 7. Peyton Canterbury the 3. They lap around the 68 of Schaefer. Nussbaum with the lead. Top four. And a DRS train pulling away from the field. Dylan Allwine in that red and blue Spider-Man number 12. Got a long way to go to try to catch the back of 21, Colton Gibson. Hayden McCullough made a bid for the lead on Cooper Nussbaum. Now he's going to try the inside of the lap car. That didn't work at all. McCullough into 3, getting in the middle of the battle for the lead. Nussbaum for the lead. Here comes a 21 of Colton Gibson into the mix. Now lots of wheel hop on Caden McCullough's 99. Here's Barnhart up around the outside. To the inside goes Colton Gibson. We're 3 wide around McCullough. Big loser in that was Caden McCullough. Goes back to the 4th spot. They get around to 3 of Peyton Canterbury. Colton Gibson now 2nd. Cooper Nussbaum all alone with the lead. Colton Gibson in 21 is second. Barnhart third, the 45. 99, Caden McCullough still a comfortable fourth. Look out, Allwine up into the fence. Keeps it going, plays a bank shot like a billiard game. Into the infield goes Spider-Man. Going to be the end of his. Yellow flag coming out as he's coasting now. Looks like out of brakes. Back up onto the racetrack.
Jason Dietz Trailer Sales, presenting sponsor out of Edgerton, Ohio. For all your race car hauler and trailer needs, new and used equipment, JasonDietzTrailerSales.com, or visit their display in the fan zone area. Jason Dietz Trailer Sales.
Green flag not out, but they sure are acting like it. Well, now the green's going to come out. Cooper Nussbaum, Colton Gibson, Joey Barnhart, Caden McCullough, the top four. Nobody else on the lead lap. So not overly concerned about how the restart went, as the top four are the only cars on the lead lap. Schaefer's down a couple. In fact, checkered flag's going to come out because nobody can catch anybody anymore. That's it. They're locked out. Nussbaum will be the winner. To the stripe. Caden McCullough doesn't give up, charges up to second at the line. Colton Gibson will take third. And fourth spot will go to the 45 of Joey Barnhart. So that'll do it for that one. Nussbaum, Gibson, Barnhart, McCullough will all go to the main. Senior Wedge last chance race. Here's their last chance lineup. On the pole, Draven Vitale in 15. Easton Jaranowski in the 2J. Sophia Slaughter in 44. Landon Canterbury in 7. Kenzie Eppink in 3. Dalton Swafford in 23. Bryson Ross in 14. Caleb Walsh in 10. Keegan Gorsuch in 5. Pace Parker in 69. We're green. For 3 wide, down the backstretch. Bryson Ross on a charge up to 5th on the opening lap. Jaranowski goes for the race lead, opens the door for Kenzie Eppink to come through. Vitale gets shuffled back to 3rd, maybe worse. Easton Jaranowski with the race lead over Kenzie Eppink. Draven Vitale sits 3rd, Landon Canterbury 4th. Bryson Ross in 5th, then comes Caleb Walsh. Keegan Gorsuch trying to make up ground. Then Sophia Slaughter, Dalton Swafford, and Pace Parker. Bryson Ross dives to the inside on Canterbury for the transfer spot. They tangle and Ross nearly goes over. Caution flag out. Canterbury turned into the corner late and Bryson Ross took the spot. But then Canterbury came down. They got together. Canterbury spinning and Ross nearly tipping over. Yellow flag for the two drivers racing for the transfer spot. So tough break for Canterbury and Ross. They're going to go to the back. 4 laps in, they got a chance to work their way back up. May need another caution to get all the way there. Easton Jaranowski, Kenzie Eppink, Draven Vitale in 3rd. Bad start for Jaranowski. He's going to go all the way back to 4th. Might be they got a gear in that car that takes a lap to get going. But Kenzie Eppink, the new lead. Here's Jaranowski coming up on the outside, but down the bottom comes Keegan Gorsuch. Kenzie Eppink with the lead over Draven Vitale. Caleb Walsh in 3rd. Side by side behind them, Keegan Gorsuch in the 5, Jaranuski the 2J. Here's Jaranuski, get the momentum up, charging around the outside. Pace Parker also moving forward in car 69. Gorsuch and Jaranuski now fighting for the last transfer spot behind Kinsey Epping. 2 to go this time for Kinsey Epping. Bryson Ross charging forward, but going to run out of time. Caleb Walsh tried to sneak to the inside of Draven Vitale. Keegan Gorsuch, big left turn down the back straightaway, and he and Jaranuski will tangle. And again, it's the transfer spot drivers that take each other down. And that might work into the favor of Pace Parker. Let's see how this works out. Keegan Gorsuch, Easton Jaranuski fighting for that last spot in the transfer. Caleb Walsh was just in front of them. They both were trying to get to the inside of Caleb Walsh, and that led those two cars to tangle. Around they went. Jaranuski had a run up the inside, and Gorsuch saw daylight inside for third. And 2 into 1 is 2 around, and 1 is going to be out. Keegan Gorsuch looks like going to be done with this one. Jaranuski now to the tail. Was leading on the last restart. Had a bad restart. Now he's got 2 laps to pull off some miracle moves. Good break for him. We're going to go green next time around. Gorsuch going to get back in this. Kinsey Epping with the lead. Draven Vitale second. Caleb Walsh third. Pace Parker may pull a Sunny move from the F1 movie. He's got to run on the field as we go green, but it might be too far back, but not enough for Bryson Ross, who did have a run. Bryson Ross, time to restart, gets the inside of Pace Parker, picks up fourth. Kinsey Epping with 1 lap to go. Fighting back is the 7 of Canterbury. Kinsey Epping down the backstretch at turn 3 and 4. Checkered flag out. Going to the feature is Kinsey Epping. Draven Vitale, Caleb Walsh, and Bryson Ross will all go to the main. Landon Canterbury, Pace Parker, Easton Jaranuski, Sophia Slaughter, Keegan Gorsuch, and Dalton Swafford will all have to try again tomorrow. Great racing from our Cobra Tire Wedge Innovations. Junior Wedge Last Chance group. Now comes the Senior Wedge Last Chance. Running out of preliminary races tonight. Excuse me, that was Senior Wedge. Junior Wedge Last Chance coming up next. Already did that. Never mind. I'm totally lost. We did both the Last Chances already. Midget qualifying coming up next. That's what we got coming up next. Couple of Last Chance races still to go in the quarter midget. And a good hello to everybody watching on Facebook. It's a live look-in. Hey, tell your friends out there, especially if they're next door at the hockey game, there's a live look-in on the Pit Road TV broadcast right now on Facebook on the Rumble page. Where's it at? Link to it off what? Rumble in Fort Wayne? We got a live look-in going on the Rumble in Fort Wayne Facebook page. Hello around the world. Those of you watching in for free, bride the broadcast. Watch the rest of it. It's midget qualifying time. I'm Bob Corson, Scott Stein alongside me. It's time to qualify the midgets for night number 1 of the Rumble in Fort Wayne, leading to the Burco Molding Race to 100.
If you're looking in and wondering what's going on, we are push starting race cars. That's what we do with the midgets. If you're not familiar with that, basically it's exactly what you're seeing here. The car is in gear, being pushed off, and then it stops. Not supposed to do that, but this one's special. Jared Kimple having difficulty with the Steve Clay car all weekend long so far. They've got it running, and then it cuts out, but they're digging away back there. They're trying to get it going. They got the other race car going, the car number 29 of Avery Neal. So now they're going to put all their efforts into this one. car number 8 of Jared Kimple out of Petersburg, Michigan, just over the state line from Ohio. Sponsored by Sprint Car Solutions. It's a Choris chassis with a Volkswagen engine. And this is the other Steve Clay car. Avery Neal at the controls out of Jackson, Michigan. Get 2 laps of warm-up. Green flag next time by for Avery Neal. Avery Neal on the green flag. First lap, 8.435. 8.435 for Avery Neal. Sponsored by Sprint Car Solutions, the Hulk Volkswagen race car, Avery Neal out of Jackson, Michigan. Next up on the track, the car number 42, Lee Pierce out of Liston, Indiana. The Amber Pierce Max Steel Services, Seguros y Más para Todos, Superior Pools and Pool Water, 420 Racing, Kenyan FJ 1200. Lee Pierce is on the racetrack. First lap for Lee Pierce, 8.610. 8.610, first time by for Liston Lee Pierce. Second lap a little bit slower. 8.901. 8.901 for Lee Pierce. Now on the track, the car number 29 of David Hare. David Hare out of Indianapolis, sponsored by his own back pocket. It's a Butler chassis with a Gertie Chevy engine in it. David Hare on the green flag. First lap for Dave Hare, 8.335. 8.335 for David Hare. Second lap, 8.287. 8.287 for David Hare. Now on the track, the car number 20 of Austin Pierce. Austin Pierce, the 20 out of Liston, Indiana. The Lee Pierce owned Extreme Concrete Cutting Canes Midwest Baseball FJ 1200 of Austin Pierce. Austin Pierce, first lap, 8.513. 8.513 for Austin. Checkered flag, 8.425. 8.425 for Austin Pierce. Next up to qualify the 24R out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's Andrew Royer. Andrew Royer. Car owned by Royer, sponsored by Dog Watch Hidden Fences, Land Art Incorporated. It's a Beast Volkswagen, and it is on the green flag. Andrew Royer, first lap, 8.246. 8.246, first time by for Royer. Second lap faster, 8.226. 8.226 for Andrew Royer. Next up to qualify the 6R of Bill Rose. Bill Rose out of Plainfield, Indiana, rookie in this race. Car owned by Rose, sponsored by MVT Trucking, Hellraiser Jacks, Simpson Race Products. It's a Hawk chassis, Fontana engine. Green flag for Bill Rose. 8.161. 8.161. First time by for Bill Rose. Second lap, he's in the sevens, just a barely. 7.999 for Bill Rose. Next up to qualify the car number 49 of the Kelsey Mange. Kelsey Mange in the car number 49. The Randy Burrow-owned Sam Pierce Chevrolet, Burco Molding, Beaver Materials, Hallwright Trucking, car Kenyan Volkswagen of Kelsey Mange, 8.132. 8.132, first time by for Kelsey Mange. Second lap, 8-1-7-8. 8-1-7-8 for Kelsey Mange. Now on the track out of Joliet, Illinois, it's the 4B of Scott Kerner. Scott Kerner and the Jerry Murphy-owned MTM Fabrication Sontag Speed Services Get Bent Auto and Exhaust Repair Pro Cup Racing Experience Advanced Powder Coating Murphy Ecotech. It's Scott Kerner. Scott Kerner's first lap, 8-1-3-1. 8-1-3-1 for Scott Kerner. Checkered flag flies. Kerner drops it to an 8-0-0-1. 8-0-0-1 for Scott Kerner. Next up to qualify, the 6 of Tony Main out of Ridgeville, Indiana. The Stems Tony Main. Car owned by Glenn and Virginia Main, sponsored by G&G Oil, Tom Cherry Muffler. Big stuff paint and body. The barn lot, Hawk Ford, Rudy Ford. And he's got a flat biscuit. Rolled it right off the beat, it did. Next up to qualify the car number 1, this is Nick Hamilton. Nick Hamilton in the car number 1. Nick sponsoring the Full Circle Award here at the Rumble. Giving away quite a bit of money to an up-and-coming young quarter midget driver tomorrow night during opening ceremonies. Nick Hamilton's on the track and on the green flag. Nick Hamilton, first time by. 8-5-5-3. 8-5-5-3, first time by for Nick Hamilton. Dogs the second lap out to a 9:03.6. 9:03.6 second time by, so 8-5-5-3 qualifies Nick Hamilton. Thomas Iman out of Joliet, Illinois, and the Tom Iman sponsors needed Volkswagen powered race car. Green flag outs for Tom Iman. First lap for Tom, 8-3-0-1. 8-3-0 with a 1 for Tom Iman. Second lap drops it a tenth to 8-2-0-6. 8-2-0-6. Next up to qualify the car number 92, it's Ricky Peterson out of Rawson, Ohio. This Peterson's Motorsports and Gary Benjamin owned Benjamin Engineering, Berryman Racing Shock, Nagy's Coating, Benjamin Steel, Factory 41, Stuart Arias of Ricky Peterson. First lap. Seven, nine, 6-9 for Ricky Peterson. Second lap quicker, 7-8-8-7. 7-8-8-7 for Ricky Peterson. Now on the track, out of the the 6 car of Ayrton Hauk. Ayrton Hauk out of McCordsville, Indiana, the 3K Racing, Curtis Motor Sales, JK Racing, Binkley's Kitchen and Bar, Kenley Yamaha of Ayrton Hauk. First lap, 7-9-8. Pardon me, 7-8-9-8. 7-8-9-8. Second lap slower, 7-8-0-7. 8-0-7-8. Second lap, excuse me. Now we dinked that up. Next up to qualify the car number 24 of Sean Bonar. Sean Bonar in the 24. Out of Hoagland, Indiana, the Corey Setzer owned Clean Fuels National, Madison Cabinets, Got Tint, Setzer Transport and Towing, Hawk Munchkin, Volkswagen of Sean Bonar. Sean Bonar, fast lap, the second lap, 7-6-5-2. 7-6-5-2. The first lap, 7-8-5-2. So the 6-5-2 being the quicker one for Sean Bonar. Next up to qualify the car number 32 out of Danville, Indiana, it's Tristan Brown. Tristan Brown of the Mike Hamilton owned Curtis Motor Sales, Wildwood Disc Brakes, Hamilton Painting, Beast Chassis, Spike Esslinger. Tristan Brown, 7.960. 7.960. First time by for Tristan Brown. Second lap goes out to an 8.268. 8.268 second lap. So the 7.960 qualifies Tristan Brown. Next up to qualify out of Zanesville, Indiana, Jacob Boxell. Jacob Boxell in the car number 96. Car run by Ted Slinkard. Sponsored by Unified Services Group, Indy, Bedbug and Pest, Bruco Molding, Don Deach, Beast Autocraft of Jacob Boxell. Boxell, first lap, second quick, 7.884. 7.884 for Jacob Boxell. Backs it down to a 7.783. 7.883. First time in a midget here at the Coliseum, but that young man has come all the way up from kid karts, all the way through the system, and is running the big cars here tonight. One of the guys he's chasing, the car number 98, John Ivy. John Ivy out of Fremont, Ohio, car number 98. The Randy Burrow, Hall Right Trucking, Sam Pierce Chevrolet, Burco Molding, Edmunds Volkswagen of John Ivy. John Ivy, 8th quick, 8.058. 8.058 for John Ivy, first time by. He jumps up to third with a 7.832. 7.832 for John Ivy. Next up to qualify out of Joliet, Illinois, it's Jim Anderson. The Anderson Motorsports, Lozano Electric and Virofab, Kenwoody Racing Apparel, Interstate Batteries in Plainfield, Illinois, Town and Country Lanes, High Performance Lubricants, JZ Fabricating, Kenwood Motorsports, Beast Mopar of Jim Anderson. First lap for Jim, 7.882. 7.882 for the car number 36. Checkered flag flies. He drops it back up to a 7.994. 7.994 for Jim Anderson. So the 7.882 sticks for car number 36. Next up to qualify the car number 49H out of Westfield, Indiana. It's Sam Hines. Sam Hines in the TNT Racing, Edge Rock, Wally's Garage, Beast Ford. Sam Hines on the green flag. Thomas Hyman. That was Thomas Hyman in 24. What was it? Next up to qualify the Chris Neuenschwander. Chris Neuenschwander out of New Haven, Indiana. The Tony Neuenschwander's JJ Exterminators Pro Strip, KRJ Race Products, nicely done mechanical Hall electric car. Fourth quick, 7.875. 7.875 for Neuenschwander. Backs it up with a 7.867. 7.867. Medic Enterprises Hawk Autocraft Volkswagen all on board. The car number 3 of Chris Neuenschwander. Next up to qualify out of Manasquan, New Jersey, it's Ryan Flores. Ryan Flores, the Lusconi owned car number 15. Sponsored by Burco Molding and Flow Coating, Hawk Munchkin Volkswagen, Ryan Flores. First lap for Ryan, 7.806. 7.806 for Ryan Flores. Second lap, 7.880. 7.880 for Ryan Flores. Down the track, the car number 59. Out of Grove City, Ohio, it's Brian Knuckles. Brian Knuckles in the Beechwood Automotive CMS Distributing, Brian's Automotive Strytech Volkswagen. Car number 59, Brian Knuckles. First lap, 7.866. 7.866 for Knuckles. Down the track, the car number 8 up of Jolton Joe Liguri. Joe Liguri out of Tampa, Florida, sponsored by Indy Powder Coating, Power Cool, MFG, PCS Racing, Kitasaki's Cactus Farm, Kircher Engines, and Joe's Gigolo Service. It's the Brand X Pontiac of Joe Ligori. Joe Ligori's times. .109, fast time 7.585, fast time for Joe Ligori. Now on the track, car number 99 of Mario Klauser. Klauser first lap, 7.753. 7.753 for Klauser. Second lap slower, 7.992. Klauser out of Chatham, Illinois, the Guest Racing Response Management Service, Remmett Cartabag, Valco Wheels, High Performance Lubricants, EnviroFab, Guest Performance Parts, Ellis Mopar. Now on the track, car number 39, Derek Bishak out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Indianapolis is Derek Bishak, the Performance Assurances LLC, Jason D's Trailer Sale, Performance Assurance United Trailers, Rapid Race Cars, Spike, J&D Ford. Bishak's first lap, 7.999. 7.999, first time by. Bishak drops it to a 7.665. 7.665 for Derek Bishak. Now out to qualify the car, number 75 out of LaGrange, Ohio, it's Casey Jetterzek. Casey Jetterzek in the Lou Ciccone, Mr. Heater, Sips and Such, Social House, Heat Star, Perfection Fabricators, Rhonda Jetterzek, Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, Grieber Racing Components, Fisher Custom Printing, Simpson Race Products, Team Line 'em Up, FK Rod End Shorings, Volkswagen of Casey Jetterzek. Jetterzek first lap, 7.933. 7.933, first time by for Jetterzek. Second lap, 7.792. 7.792 for Casey Jetterzek. Next up to qualify the car, number 46 out of Peru, Indiana, it's Russ Gamester. The Gamester Racing, Greens Gables Village Mobile Home Park, Olson Paint and Body, Arnie's Ace Hardware, GRP Chassis, Grant King of Volkswagen. Of Russ Gamester. Gamester first lap, 7.745. 7.745 for Russ Gamester. Second lap, a little slower, 7.783. 7.783 for Russ Gamester. Now to qualify the car, number 99 out of Carmel, Indiana, it's rookie of the race, Michael Lewis. The Randy Burrow, Burco Molding, Sam Pierce Chevrolet, Hallwright Trucking, Fedorchik Burrow Volkswagen, piloted by Michael Lewis. First lap for Michael Lewis, 7.732. 7.732 seconds for Michael Lewis. Second lap quicker, 7.639. 7.639 for Michael Lewis. Now, car number 41, Cap Henry. Fastest in practice, Cap Henry out of Republic, Ohio, the car number 41. Joe Ligori, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Karts, Factory 41, Premier Planning Services, SCS Gearbox, FK, Rod Ends, Power Cool Manufacturing, Primal Tea Shop, Tony Elliott Foundation, Factory 41, VW. First lap, 7.487. 7.487 for Cap Henry. He backs it off to a 7.502. 7.502 for Cap Henry. Now out to qualify with a new right rear tire on, it's Tony Main. Tony Main out of Ridgeville, Indiana. The Glen of Virginia, Main, G&G Oil, Tom Cherry Muffler, Big Stuff Paint and Body, Barn, Lock, Hawk, Gertie, Ford. Tony Main, 8.311. 8.311 for Tony Main. So rolling through your lineup. Want to get down here and find Make sure everybody's in. Looks good. Oh, I want to get you the car of Sam Hines, 49H. Fast lap 8.928. 8.928. Up at the top of the speed chart, car number 41, ladies and gentlemen, your fast qualifier is Cap Henry. 7.487. 7.487 for Cap Henry. Second quick, Joe Ligori, 7.585. Third quick, Michael Lewis, 7.639. Sean Bonar, car number 24B, the 7.652. Derek Bishak rounds out your fast five, 7.665. Then it's Russ Gamester with a 7.745. Mario Klauser, 7.753. Jacob Boxall inside the top 10, 7.783. And Casey Jetterzek, 7.792 seconds. Your 10th fastest car. Hey, look at that. John Ivy just out to qualify the midget and also sitting in the stands.
At this time, we would ask everyone to please rise. We'll get ready for our invocation. Again, race fans, it'll be a long night, as Christian will explain here in just a moment. Racing is one of the few sports where we get to honor our Lord and America. So at this time, before we get underway, we ask for a moment of silence to remember all of our friends, neighbors, racers, and fellow competitors that cannot be with us this evening. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to come together. You have brought us as a family of racers and friends for fellowship and racing. We know there are good times and there are bad times. There are rough times and there are great times. You lead us through all of them. And tonight we ask you that you lend a hand of safety over all of our racers, all of our pit crews, and our team members as we continue on with Rumble 27 presented by Jason Dietz Trailer Sales. And now to sing our national anthem, Morgan Blonde.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Again, thank you so much for joining us here tonight for the 27th Annual Rumble in Fort Wayne. We'll keep things going here pretty quickly for you. Thank you so much for joining us. Those of you watching online on Pit Road TV, those of you joining us here in person, we'll turn things back over to Scott and Bob with the call for tonight's racing action. But again, just thank you guys so much for joining us. If you haven't already bought your pit pass for tomorrow night, that's what we highly recommend that you do. Best way to stay up to date with what's going on. We have the lineups posted down there. You can be up and close to the drivers. We have the midgets pitted over to my right. We have non-wing sprint cars, wing sprint cars. Down in the basement, we have go-karts. We have quarter midgets. Best bang for your buck is purchasing one of those pit passes. At least that's what I would recommend. But we're going to keep the program going for you. Friday night is always a little bit longer than the Saturday night portion of our program. So again, sit back, relax, get some food, get an ice-cold Pepsi product, or maybe a ice-cold alcoholic beverage if you are of age. We just ask that you drink responsibly. But again, thank you so much. We'll get things going here in just a moment. We'll turn things back high atop the Expo Center here at the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum in just a moment. But first, I saw some hockey jerseys over here to my left a little bit ago. In the main arena here, we have a hockey game going on, but I highly recommend you stay here. Just stay and watch the racing program here tonight. We're only here 2 times out of the year. So again, thank you for joining us. Bob, Scott, back to you guys.
All right, want to take a quick second to close out the live look-in via Facebook. Thank you for joining us. Now, come on into Pit Road TV and see the rest of the action here at the Rumble in Fort Wayne.